Just a couple of quickies. This is the Range Rover heater blower. I didn't film washing it out. Well, it was full of mice. I got the vacuum cleaner out and pulled swathes of underbonnet insulation out of there. The blower turns, but does it work? Well, let's find out. Now, I've got a little jumper cable here, so I'm going to attach it to a battery. And first of all, we've got to find out where the connection is. There's connections everywhere. So the actual blower itself is here, look. So it's got a black and an orange. It's usually black ground, and the white with the red usually goes to the starter, but in this case it's a white with the red that goes to the heater. So I'm going to point this away from me because you don't know what's in there, so let's have a look and see if it turns. There you go. That's good. What sort of air's coming out of that? Ooh! That's good. A lot of air coming out of that. That's good. Disconnect your battery. I'm pleased with that. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. There's all sorts of relays and bits and pieces, and these are stepper motors on this side. These control the vents. Now I can't test those until they're on the car, unfortunately, but usually they're okay. You know, usually those little stepper motors are good. There's supposed to be a foam on the top of here, but we'll think about messing up with that. Let's go and get the actual heater itself. This is the heater unit itself. Now this was in a bit of a bad state. This is all, it should have a foam gasket going around here. We'll put that back on when we put the heater back on. You know, just to stop it blowing out the sides. But what I noticed was with this unit here, I noticed when I was turning the cables, see this bit moves, that bit moves the flap inside, I think, I don't know where. So that one's okay because there's a cable goes on there onto here, see? Now on this side, seized up. So what's wrong with it? Well, as far as I can see, this little piece here, this piece, this shaft that's here, is it's seized, and because the shaft has got rusty, so I'm thinking there's a little grub screw on the side of there on a flat, so we can't go wrong. Now I think we're just going to take that off and then manually turn this bit. Let's see that bit. Yeah, we're going to take this piece off and manually turn this bit. We'll put some penetrating oil around here and we'll go around and oil all the lot up before we put it back together again. But you can see this one's moving, you can see that one's moving backwards and forwards, this one in. Let's get a screwdriver and take that off. Here we go. Try not to lose the screws because I bet we haven't got any. Let's zoom out a bit. Yeah, that's good. There we go. Now let's find a pair of pliers and we'll see what we can do with that. We'll apply a bit of penetrating oil. You see, is that it there? No. Where does it go? Oh, it's in a bushing in here. That's easy. Let's see if this turns. And the answer is, oh, there we go. I wouldn't have had a hope in hell's chance to turn. Now it seems to me there's a tight spot on the inside. I don't know. Now when that's off, can we... Yeah, you see that's now moving those valves around. Let's shut them down. In fact, let's give it a good old bloody squirting all over the place. I bet it's not had anything for years. Let's think of WD-40, whatever it is. Oh, there we go. I thought it would have wanted more than that, but probably it would. That's against its stopper there. Yeah, it's a bit of a state, isn't it? Alright, let's see if we can get... well, that's where I wanted to have a look inside there. Torch. Back in the tick. Yeah, I was right, there's a bushing inside there. Just careful not to knock that screw over. I bet you there's one, yeah, in there too. I don't know if there's anything in the middle. Can't tell. Well, let's keep on at that. See if that's going to free off. Oh, that's better already, look. So I don't know what valve that changes, don't ask me. It's changing something. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Mice. They've been in there as well. It looks like we'll leave that, we'll give it another spray. Indiscriminately. You know something, I'd rather mess about spraying stuff. It is a bit rusty around here, but it's not too bad. Does this one work? Oh, that one's tight as well. We'll have to have a look at that one as well. But this one's freed off. But I noticed inside here, now I can move the flap, the actual heater unit itself, the actual matrix, oh, it's got some poo on it. So let's see if we can get it out. The matrix is kind of accessible. It's not too bad to get to. And I think you can do it inside the car because they had a notorious problem of leaking. This one looks alright, but I'm certainly going to test it. All there is a clamp. Just here, there's the matrix. Couldn't be a better place. That's got a cable tie. Oh, there's a couple of screws on there, look. I do not want to undo the joint connection, I'll show you in a minute. One there. These pipes look corroded when we first took them out, but I put the power wash on them and just all the little corrosion just dropped off, so I don't know what that was, and I put the power wash through the tubes just to rinse out what was in there. It seemed to be alright, but again we don't know if it's leaking. Well, let's get this off of here. Yeah. Put that in the garbage over there. Missed. As usual. Right, let's take this clamp off. Jed clamp it. Because this unit's kind of clever. It's actually the AC unit and the heater at the same time. The AC unit is in this section and the heater's in this one. Now, is it going to come out? God, bloody hell. Flat blade screwdriver. This is the moment where you bugger them up. Oh. Hey ho, and up she rises. Yeah, it's like I say, it's fortunate that they made it come out, because there's some cars you just couldn't get these matrices out at all. They wouldn't come, they wouldn't shift. Ooh. Want to block something to push that on. I wonder if I have any pliers in there, just give it a bit of a tweak up. Ooh, it's not looking good. Those mices. I should be able to pull it out. Surely with my strength of 1,000 mice. Oh, we've got a problem with this little lever here. This is where you start taking loads of bits off and then you forget where they all go back together again. Good screwdrivers. These little Tecton set here from Amazon. They were most surprisingly good. I've been very impressed with them. I don't know where they're made, probably China, wherever that is. Let's lift that lever off. Now we should be able to get that out of the way. At the same time, oh look, we can test that flap. That's working perfectly. Perhaps it's the only thing that does. Let's pull this out. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I think that was a good call. There's water everywhere. Let's have a look inside. Ooh. You see, even though I washed it out, let's have a look, see if we can do a zoomy inside there. Wait a minute, let's get the angle right. I'll shine the light inside and then you can... Can you see the muck in the bottom? Look at the muck in here. Can you see it? Look at that muck. It's filthy. And the matrix on these Range Rover well, wait a minute, let's just zoom out here. On these Range Rover Discovery things were very tightly packed, as you can see here. Look, you see they're very tightly packed, but that's its downfall as well, because it's so tightly packed it blocks up with mouse stuff. I'm glad we took that out. Now, can we get that mouse stuff out? Dear me, what a bloody mess. Dear me. Needle nose pliers. Open wide. Oh, stinks. I don't know why mice don't wear deodorant. Well, there's a bit of it. Oh, it's mouse poo. Blech. Tell you what, I'm going to quit this for now and give it all blast with the power wash, because that's not nice stuff. That's real poo. That's not just seeds and stuff. Let's get that washed out and see what the results are like. Well, the power wash got most of this out, but in this corner where all the crud was, it's just corroded all the fins away, look. Now, I don't really want to put that back in, that's going to be a problem. See, when you go across it with the power wash and try and wash out the dirt and stuff, this came out alright because it was kind of solid, but once it's compromised and the fins are really thin, look, you see how you can knock them apart with your finger? Well, that's it. Now I'm just going to check, because I don't think they're too expensive, even for me. And do I want to mess about with this in winter time or in 6 months' time? No. Let me go and check, see how much one is. This is just typical of the Land Rover parts business. I just found out the part number of this heater matrix, and it doesn't come with the pipes, but the clamp on here. This is where, I was going to say this is where the leak, but that's leaking. My trade price from Britpart is £27. LR Direct from Britpart, £24. How do you work that out? So sometimes, you know, people said to me, oh, we charge too much for parts. Well, compared to wherever you want to get it from, I mean, they must buy it in bulk, or there's some error on the page. I really don't know, but you know something, I'm going to have a look around and see if I haven't got one of those on the shelf, an old one. I've got a sneaking feeling I've got one, but the thing is, I had stuff like that years ago. I used to keep everything, and if I've not sold it in 5 years, I get rid of it. I just get rid of it, I junk it off, because it takes shelf space up. So that's sort of come to a grinding halt for now. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get rid of that stuff for a start. Yeah. Let's see about our shafts and see if they're turning. Oh, that's a lot better. Oh yeah, that's a lot better now. Look at that. That's all it ever does. So let's assemble this. All it is putting this one back on again. Somehow. This is why I said to Ludi, you'd never take these apart, because what a job you have trying to put them back together again. Horrible jobs. If you do them every day, it's a different thing. If you've got experience with them, no problem. But when you haven't got experience with them, leave them alone. Just wash them out the best you can. The evaporator inside for the actual heater, it's for the air conditioning unit, isn't too bad at all. Now this is going to be a right fiddly old faff on. Trying to get that shaft lined up there. Things you have to do, eh? These screws that small. Oh wait a minute, it goes through that. Oh no, that's fine. Of course, it doesn't help if you've got great big fingers and things like that. I'll have to come back to you when I've got this screw in. So after a lot of messing about, I give up on the deep creep and I started to use the crown rust proofing because it's a lubricant, and now that's working nice. That one's good. See how nice and free they are now. That's how it should be, because otherwise it's going to buckle your cables. The other side's a bit stiffer, but it's still alright. But I'm gonna leave it to soak. It's just that one point there, it just sticks a bit. But the problem is the bushings inside are the problem, the pivots inside. So all I'm going to do is give them a damn good squirt with Crown. And of course the problem with these heaters is it's directional, so the left and the right are two separate heaters, if you see what I mean, so the passenger doesn't get as warm as the driver or something like that. But I'm just going to sort of merrily away and fill this full of oil because by the time we get round to fitting it, it will have dried off a little bit but left the film of oil there. That's the stuff that we want. So I'm going to just leave that. I'm going to sign this off, have a dig round for a heater matrix. Damn shame I haven't got one. Never mind. But like I said, I'm not going to put the foams back on here, that's a waste of time. Yeah, so that's that. That's a heater. I shall put it all back together again before we put it on the car and give it a good old test run to make sure that the flaps are running okay. But these are really nice now, Chris. They were seized up before, and that rust proofing's really worked well. Yeah. Well, you've seen it already, but I'm kind of pleased with it. So that's good. We'll leave it, we'll come back to it when we put it all back together again, but that is why your cables and things like this all bind up, because the shafts have got seized in the plastic with a bit of rust, never been used for donkey's years. So it just takes a bit of patience, but you don't need to buy a new heater.